සීත කුණුසුම සැප දුක පසෙක තබා වේදනාවින් මිනිසුන් සොය සොය ඔබ දෙසුදම් මග නොවේ නිමා වේදනාවින් මිනිසුන් සොය සොය ඔබ දෙසුදම් මග නොවේ නිමා නෙත සිත තුටු කල බුදුරුම බුදු බල ඉතිපිසෝ භගවා අරහං සම්මා සම්බුද්ධෝ ඉතිපිසෝ භගවා අරහං සම්මා සම්බුද්ධෝ පිනිබිඳුවක පනනල සසරේ දුවන පනින සිත නිසල කලේ දහමින් පුටු කල ලියට තලේ පුටු නෙත පහද මුහද මඩලේ මොහ වේදනාවිති මිනිසුන් සොය සොය ඔබ දෙසුදම් මග නොවේ නිමා ගෙත සිත තුටු කල බුදුරුම බුදු බල ඉතිපිසෝ භගවා අරහං සම්මා සම්බුද්ධෝ ඉතිපිසෝ භගවා අරහං සම්මා සම්බුද්ධෝ මේක වෙත් සිත වපුරා සසර දිනා ලෝකයේ අන්ද සතහට සුවය ගෙනා තිලවට තිලකව නෙත පෑදූ වඳිමු වඳිමු සම්බුදු සාදු තිලවට තිලකව නෙත පෑදූ වඳිමු වඳිමු සම්බුදු සාදු නෙත සිත තුටු කල බුදුරුම බුදු බල ඉතිපිසෝ භගවා අරහං සම්මා සම්බුද්ධෝ ඉතිපිසෝ භගවා අරහං සම්මා සම්බුද්ධෝ ඈත මෑත ගෞදුර දහස් වේවා සීත
What is with that music?
Sorry, I'm just trying to like put. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So I'm just trying to like put like Buddhist in like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I can find some more, but it'd be good one like the flute.
Oh,
I'm trying
okay.
to find some very very good one. So yeah. By the way, guys, we're gonna discuss about Konami and also the ongoing situation between them and Yakuza. If what is it? If they cooperate with each other, which we all can understand where their path's been going down lately, and also then that. What is it? The Silent Hill I seen based on if you go on Google, like based on Twitter, the Silent Hill like announced their their original game, and personally, what's the point just showing the original trailer and allowing Bluebird team to just
they showed the original Silent Hill 2 trailer.
yeah remember I showed how Bluebird team celebrate a trailer.
Oh, you mean the trailer for the remake that they had?
Yeah, and also not that Konami says celebrate the old trailer of Silent Hill 2, which okay, we've been celebrate, but where's the gameplay like all those long? And also I heard even though the media, like not my intel, the media trying to claim that Konami want to like, announce their Silent Hill showcase around October. And what is it? To this YouTuber called Prelude Boy 1999. He gave like a good intel because apparently I think last year around 22 they announced that the showcase around October about Silent Hill, right? The show's full project, but they can't at least just show around August or maybe around September. They have to go on October to do it. First, in my perspective,
You think they'll show something this October?
we gotta see, cause
I
even
mean, maybe since it's like the month for Halloween, horror games and all that. So maybe
yeah, true,
I don't know, but I just think that they're just gonna wait till like early next year or something, like
yeah,
January or February.
yeah, because personally, they're not even connected to their community at all. Because the only thing they got focus and mindset is the ascension, which kind of like still make people disappointed, and they're not feel interested with the TV series. They're just interested with video games.
Yeah, I don't know what they think about that game.
Yeah,
Like if it's gonna like take off or really like gain any real interest from people. Because I'm pretty sure a lot of people who are claiming that they're interested in it probably just like the fact that something new from Silent Hill is coming out, something that they feel like they can talk about just for the sake of talking about it.
yeah, that's that's for sure. But the like personally, um, in my opinion, and as me personally, um. they could just shouldn't like announce that early then. They could just announce it maybe next year or find a late find like a late showcase they can show it to everyone and then they can show a lot of the gameplay instead of just wasting people time.
Well, what they could do is maybe early October, they can announce that they could have a showcase later in the month,
Hmm.
and then this mainly to show off the Silent Hill 2 remake, talk more about what's it called, Silent Hill F, and
Yeah,
the movie.
yeah.
I mean, is when does Ascension come out?
I do not know personally.
So if that doesn't come out until like sometime next year, they can also talk about that. And
Yeah,
that, I guess, I don't know, just something else to show off there. But
yeah,
you can just easily just hype people up
yeah.
in like the beginning of October, and then just later on in the month to show the showcase there.
Yeah. Before I adding Genpachi, wait for 1 minute. Before adding Genpachi, I want to say this to you, Reverend. Um, what is it? It's what is it? Thing with Konami is okay, they got Castlevania, But but the thing around their Tokyo Game Show, they announced small things and they delay Bomberman. And also their showcase is not doing that well. Probably, maybe some other things could. Maybe they're in so much business with the Yakuza clan. I'm just saying, it's spectacular.
Hold on, give me a second.
Yeah. Don't worry, Junpachi. I will add you. Don't worry. Oh yeah, Jimpachi. By the way, if you're watching, do you got other
Okay.
members to join? Yeah. Okay. Like I said, brother, man, with the situation between the Yakuza and Konami, probably Konami like paying more debt to them. Plus, maybe like a lot of the fans spectacular how they treat their own employees. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and also they got like a big building where they got to move things and treat the cleaners completely very disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
Was-
Yeah, then they're pretty like notorious for that.
Yeah, and what is it? Even though in the articles, like the media saying, like probably like the boss is trying to abuse the staff member, and that's what you see like um an outlets, all these ridiculous outlets trying to say, oh, the staff like this the staff member got arrested because he nearly killed the boss.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Genpachi's waiting.
Yeah, well, let me add him for you.
Yeah, you can just hit him in.
Yeah, Jempachi.
He, I'm pretty sure he knows what's going on with
Yeah,
Konami.
yeah, and yeah, he's there. So
Yo, what's up? Why you had me waiting so long, man? What was I waiting for?
no, I'm just speaking to everyone. Sorry about
I'm like, Jay, what the hell? What's the delay? What am I waiting for? What is the restrictions?
no, just
But
joking. I'm just saying, do you got some other people to join? Or not really?
not really. I don't really have anyone else to join because most of the people I interact with, they're just more like fans of my content. They're not really like are not really. They don't really talk about like the social stuff that's going on with like gaming and whatever.
Oh, yeah, I don't.
So they're mostly just like fans of like the gameplay and whatnot.
Yeah.
But
I'm not being disrespectful, but
but from what you were saying,
yeah,
with Konami, I think really the problem with Konami's showcases is that they just don't have anything to show. Like
yeah,
they they make a lot of they made a bunch of announcements, and I don't think any of those games are in a level of completion where
yeah, true.
they can show something viable. So
Yeah, because
they're just dragging their feet.
because they got brought history. That's what I'm saying. Reverend. Maybe they run themselves over to Yakuza clan,
Yeah, just
and
like meddling
this,
in, Yakuza business and shit like that
I
yeah,
for
mean, I
whatever
wouldn't be
reason.
surprised. I mean, the Konami, like when you look at like a corporation like Konami, they probably are the Yakuza. Allegedly, I'm saying alleged because you should always
yeah,
be careful
yeah.
when you say
And
things like that. Because
also, even though the YouTube community, but the thing with YouTube community, they need to ban them. Because the thing is, what is it? Konami charges them a lot of money, like probably like £1,000 more and higher. Maybe is any price for those cards.
yeah, well, Konami's not really like. To be honest, Konami's not really a game company.
Yeah,
They're just
exactly.
a multimedia company that happens to dabble in games.
Yeah,
So
that's true. They're not.
that's
They're
why
not.
that's why I don't have strong faith in anything that comes out of Konami because ultimately whatever is the flavor of the month business practice they're going to abide by. So I wouldn't be shocked if we see a bunch of not just ESG shit but like also like microtransactions,
Yeah,
some kind of weird services with Metal Gear and Silent Hill. I'm
yeah,
expecting that from them.
yeah. Because the thing is, we all know, like, they're not handling the IP that great, and it's been years how much the fans, even though fans for a long time asked them to just give up the IP, they can't touch the IP. It must be sold by
Yeah,
a Japanese studio or publisher to gain the IP. Because the fact, like, if Konami don't have the IP, it will be great for all along.
I think if
By
anything, they're
by
just
the
they're
Japanese
just
studio.
banking on Silent Hill in
They're
hopes
banking
that
on
it'll.
nostalgia.
Yeah, it's kind of like with
Yeah,
Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed
yeah.
right now,
Even
where like they just have all these different like projects and shit going on. They're just hoping that kind of like keeps them afloat for a while
yeah,
and keeps them like relevant.
Well,
yeah,
like I said, I wouldn't even call it being afloat because they have so much money that it's just another business venture for them. So
Yeah, yeah.
I
yeah,
It's not like Ubisoft where it's like
they have to
it's it.
succeed, you know. Like if
yeah.
Konami's game division goes away, they make most of their money doing other things. What was the last Konami game that you can think of that was a big release? Like
The Metal
even
Gear
think,
Survive, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
think about that. So
Metal Gear Zero, Ground Zero, and it failed that hard because they created since
yeah,
Kojima left.
like Metal Gear 5 and Metal Gear Survive were like the last games that they had were big releases. That was 2015 and what 2017 or something like that.
I
Yeah,
think so, yeah. And then
they fell off the cliff, bro.
after that, it's just been a bunch of like remasters, like Zone of the Enders and
Yeah.
Castlevania collection shit like that.
If they were a game company primarily, they would be screwed
Yeah,
given like their
they're
release
lucky they
thing.
got
So
other things going on.
well, that's their main source of revenue. So I don't think that they care. It's like it's I feel I guess what I'm trying to say is that it's a half-assed attempt by Konami, and they don't care. So I think that like the people that are fans of those series, they shouldn't expect like Capcom levels of care or in the Metal Gear re-release, the remake
Oh yeah,
that they're doing. Like everything that they're doing, I want to have strong faith in because it's Konami.
Yeah,
So
because it's them with other promotions, swimming, machines, lot of things.
mhm.
It's not like an absolute game studio.
I
It's
remember
else.
they have the pachinko slots and shit like that. Remember
Yeah,
that whenever you have gambling involved, you have the mafia, or in this case, Yakuza involved, allegedly. I stress
eh,
enough to say that you should probably say allegedly. It's unlikely, but the chances of them
yeah,
trying to sue us is it's never zero. It's low, but it's never zero. So always allegedly.
yeah,
I would assume allegedly that they would be working with they would have some shady deals going on with like, you know, some crime organizations.
yeah. True, true, true. They're based on crime organization. Like for
Mhm.
at least Capcom being successful for years. They made lot of money and profit. But Konami, they've been around business, not around game, but other places. And that's what you see in our community. Just
yeah.
there. So I
Because
feel like
aren't pachinko slots aren't they gambling machines?
yeah,
So
gambling.
yeah, so yeah. Anyway, anytime you have gambling at any level, at any highly profitable level, you're gonna have organized crime involved. It's
Yeah.
inevitable. It's
Yeah,
inevitable. So I would assume that they are in bed with those people. But again, like the problem with their showcase, in my opinion, is that they don't care. That they just don't care enough, and they don't have anything to show.
yeah,
So
exactly. That's true.
they're copying what other companies do, right? Like
Yeah,
Yeah,
and you think about it in the
huh.
showcase, they were showing the Silent Hill I mean, they were just showing like concept art and having people just talk about it for like 20 minutes or so
Yeah.
yeah, but I would
with
say
no
right
like
now the
release date or
movie's
anything
gonna
like
be
that. Just a bunch of
horrible.
concept art they're showing,
It's gonna be
and
a
it's like a whole bunch of nothing. And then you think about the Silent Hill Ascension game, or if you even really want to call it a game. So I mean, the only thing worthwhile they showed there, which was Silent Hill 2 remake and Silent Hill F,
yeah.
Well,
and
that's
they
Not
haven't shown
and
anything really since
Townfall
then.
too, but where's information about Townfall? Because those
Oh
are the
yeah,
games
that too. I
actually
forgot.
pure interactive working on. Because the fact like they are supposed to be like focus on making developers show some screenshot and many images. I'm even though right now I found like on Twitter make response to Blueberton when he got Soul Silent 2 remake, and they can't say anything because it's only Konami buying bet off, because if they do show something they can get themselves in trouble.
I I
Oh
really I really like I strongly believe that this really just comes down to them doing what other companies do. And like, so for example, like, when something becomes an industry practice, other companies want to copy because they want a piece of the pie. and they
Yeah,
see that other companies like Capcom or whoever, they do like these showcases, or
yeah,
Sony or Nintendo, and they say, hey, we have, hey, like pretend I'm Konami. They're saying, hey, we have some popular IPs. We should do a showcase. What do we have in line? And they just put a bunch of games that I guarantee you most of those games probably won't even come out. I,
yeah,
I doubt I doubt
Anytime
half of that
soon.
shit
Yeah.
actually gets released.
Yeah, some of them
yeah,
might end up getting canceled. Who's to say Silent Hill F doesn't get canceled? They may even cancel the Silent Hill 2 remake.
The
yeah.
weird
Hell,
the
they
weird
Like,
may they may they may actually put it on hiatus and just switch to a different team. They may figure like, all right, Bloober team made the team for this. We'll switch it over. They put out some press statement. And it'll be like I don't know if any of you guys know about
Dead Island 2.
yeah, or Bloodlines the Masquerade 2.
yeah.
That game where it's been a whole bunch of different developers, or even the
Yeah,
the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake that already had like 2 or 3 different developers. They only had that one CGI trailer that just showed off Revan, and now that's rumored that that's being canceled. So who knows?
But you know what the difference is, right? Like here's the difference. Me, you, and Reborn. You guys can hear me clearly, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
can
could.
clearly.
Okay. Okay. So we're gamers. We actually like the series. Like
Yeah,
the companies that produce this shit.
yeah.
They
It's
don't
just
they don't really care that much about the thing that we like, right? So
yeah.
like,
That's true. And also another
mhm.
thing, even though I understand what they say, even though if they do care about the fans' perspective to show like some screenshot, then they can get themselves risked by trouble by the publisher. And you see how most publishers do to studio, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing happening with Deep Silver with the disaster with the Saints Row.
But to the point I was trying to make though, really,
Yeah, yeah,
is that these people they don't care, bro. Like they don't really care. They care in that it makes them money and they want it to be successful, but they don't have passion for it. It's just another asset for them. So those companies like Konami and various other ones, they're just looking at, hey, what's the most profitable thing happening right now in the gaming space? How can we
yeah.
apply that to our games and our IPs that we own? So
Mhm.
Yeah,
they'll
Like
see
like
like
the
Ascension,
remakes.
like
yeah,
remakes
yeah.
are popular. Let's remake Metal Gear. Let's remake Silent Hill. Remasters are popular. Let's remaster Metal Gear.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Games as a service are popular. Silent Hill Ascension. All this whatever shit is that's coming out.
Yeah, like Metal
But
Gear
but
Survive.
but these are like corporate decisions based on money and not passion. Are we like and
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
that's the thing around industry.
Whatever they think will
Friendship.
make them the most money and bring
and
in as many
Yeah,
people as possible.
and
They
and
don't care whether
ultimately
if they're like long fans or not. They just
they don't care.
yeah, yeah.
true.
And ultimately the whole point of what I'm saying is that when you have a balance of the two, that's when you get the best products, right? Because a game that's solely passion based sometimes will fail because it doesn't get the marketing or like it doesn't have the corporate machine behind it
True.
strong enough to get it into everyone's hands. So how many times you'll play a game you never heard of and it'll be amazing, and sadly that company probably already went out of business because the game didn't sell well. So you need the
Exactly.
passion and you need the money that backs it. But when you have a
Yeah,
company
that's true.
like, and that's why Capcom has done well with their remakes, while as opposed whether it's they're passionate about the remakes,
Yeah,
Yes.
but
and the quality too.
and the
That's
quality.
Yep. Yep.
So
yeah,
when
But
that
when they don't have
once
like no quality control, that's when everything goes
yeah.
downhill.
Even though what right
Mhm.
now, guys, even though some guy try to reply to me in comment section saying like, see the thing with Konami, they need to give like the Sahel IP to Japan because all the time Western's not good at like horror movie around video games because you know how Western is right now with Hollywood.
I don't think they could
Yeah.
do any. I don't think they're good at anything these days. Honestly,
Yeah,
I'm
like
like, I'm one of
Japan,
the
like
most,
horror
I'm
game
one of,
doing well.
I'm one of the most pro-American guys, and I love this country and all. But damn, they fucking suck at everything.
Yeah.
Everything. Most of the
Everything.
shit that's
Yeah,
coming out is
Gaming, movies,
ass.
yes,
comics, all of
like
it.
Things that I
even
like.
let me tell you this. Even
Shows.
though what is it? I think Mike Miller talking about it, and even he's saying this too. At least the manga's doing so well, selling well, but the American comics and movies is completely so ridiculous and it's boring.
Yeah, so it
Majority of
is.
people felt with it, and that's the way you see how manga saying well, and that's why you see these outlets trying their best to shut it down, even though they're saying they're gonna make excuses. Probably it's the passing to the audiences, but they just don't want to make it because they want like everything to be around, you know, socialists, and even though majority public people are not into socialists,
But bro, yeah, it's like socialist
all
shit.
yeah,
It's that, but like it's all right. Let's break it down even further, right? Two things usually sell well throughout history:
yeah,
sex and violence. Whether
yeah,
it sounds good or not, that's what sells. The
yeah,
socialist agenda is about they're pushing all this shit out of they're pushing like the sex appeal and a lot of the violence and like the and not in violence I don't even just mean like blood and gore. I just mean like the aggressive like testosterone fueled like action you used to get.
yeah,
They're pushing it out of media, and you're ending up with these products that are just they just become ways to preach and to show whatever slant that they have. They have no like. Ironically enough, if they really wanted to succeed, they would shut up and keep the sex appeal and violence, and that would actually help them spread their agenda. Even though I'm not trying to give them ideas to help them because obviously I don't want that, but
exactly,
they're actually shooting their own thing in the foot because
yeah,
remember movies like Blade were highly popular and they had violence, sex, or whatever, but he was a popular black character that people love.
yeah,
For
exactly,
example, if they
exactly,
if they really wanted to push their agenda, they would actually do that. And then also they're hypocrites because they deep down know that that's what they really want, and it's almost like a spiteful endeavor to try to take it away because they're just trying to ruin it and spite their enemies.
yeah, and that's the thing, like like I say, because even though if it was in Demon, that's the Mac Miller thing, like the the industry around the Western, it's people messing up because it's trying to like gain amount of the social media attention, like these
Hmm.
outlets more as a credibility, but not
Hmm.
focused on what's public people wise
Yeah,
to make
now it's all a
this.
propaganda machine. Whatever they
Yeah,
can use to sell their propaganda, they'll
yeah,
do it. And it's funny because they have all this trouble making a new Blade movie, all these issues, but then other movies like the Batman or other shit like that, where there is some agendas being pushed, even in the recent Batman movie, for
yeah.
example.
Even in
That's
Demon
that
thing, even
that
though
that ends up
uh,
coming out with like little to no issues. I think the only issues they had was what's his name, the guy who played Batman had COVID or whatever. But
Yeah, but he's a bitch anyway.
yeah,
yeah, but by the way, I'll say
other than
something.
that,
Oh yeah, I will say something. By the way,
right.
even Demon saying that if you take a look at the head of DC, he even trying to expose this thing and saying like, hey, this industry is not good because they keep on promoting propaganda. I would say it's not the studios, it's just the corporation that told them to do these type of things. Because
It is
they,
that.
oh, you gotta lose money. Who give?
Well, remember this too, because I used to be a like I want to say I'm a big comic book fan, DC, Marvel, Image Comics, I like all that shit, but it's hard for me to say that now because I don't like the shit that's coming out now. So like,
Exactly, bro.
but as a person who was a fan for a long time, the
True.
thing is that here's the thing with that the
Mhm.
the comics are like the Bible of and heart of the lore, right?
Yeah.
So the companies that are producing this, like DC and Marvel, they don't care about the comics because they're making more money with the movies and with the video games or whatever. Because
Yeah.
a lot of kids now don't read comics anymore. The only thing they're reading is manga. Like they don't really read comics like that. So the
Yeah.
reason why is because the quality dropped. But here's the thing. So
That's
they
true. Because
mhm.
like even though the media like it when the quality drop, and when public people wise not they're not interested with quality
but
drops. It
but the
just
reason why is because they're using them as a way. So So
to
here's the
get to
thing:
reality.
if they want to do like weirdo gay shit and weirdo
Yeah, to
LGBT,
get to
weirdo
reality,
weirdo
that's
stuff,
the thing.
whatever they want
Change.
to do, they tell you, they say, all right, if we put it in the comics, people can't complain because they're in the comics. So they're changing the comics now to change all these characters so that they could say that, hey, it's part of the lore. And they really just want to change them in movies and animation. So the comics are screwed. They don't care about them anymore. And
Yeah,
they're selling badly, but they're like, well, it doesn't matter if the comics sell badly because Batman is still a strong brand. And if I make a Batman movie, that's going to make us millions of dollars. So all we need to do is make gay characters gay in the DC universe, black or Asian
yeah.
or whatever they do,
Try
race
to
swap them.
weaponize these type of propaganda
It's
because we
propaganda. It's a propaganda thing now.
even
So
though majority people can know what they're doing, but they're not interested in those propaganda machine, and they can.
exactly.
And even though, right, even though like whatever Konami can allow these Western people. Let me say this: Konami allow Western people to do things with Silent Hill, but still, majority fans will be right and tell them exact how it is. Nobody's not interested with content or propaganda. They're interested with full quality of of gaming. And and we all see how like most you know what is it people out there you know claiming that women play games, but they don't. Even though they say to themselves they don't play game or they don't read comic that much, it's just based around these subscriptions. Even though I would say porn subscriptions, they
Yeah,
want.
a lot of them are just like casuals, people who are just getting into the fab because it's popular, it's cool, it's not something that how it was years ago where people would be shamed
Yeah,
or looked down
exactly.
upon from it.
But that's why gatekeeping is so important, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Gatekeeping. And the
But
thing is,
mhm. Go ahead. Say what you're gonna say. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
we all know Japan. They're not interested with these ongoing real life shit. No, they're interested with escapism and passion as quality, good quality, but not.
But bro, you know what it is? It's because you're seeing a push to lie. It's like a push to make lies reality. It's like revisionist history,
Yeah,
like lie words,
reverse history.
oh, look at this comic. Batman was always gay. Look how he interacted with this character. Or oh, look at him. This. It's always been like this, but it's not. It's a lie. It
Yeah,
just
exactly.
all they
Yeah,
care about is making their lies normal. If they can
yeah,
normalize their lies, they'll be happy.
yeah.
That's
But
my
let me say
point.
this, because I would say this, because I would say social media trying to like promote these type of things. The
Hmm.
lies.
Of
Japan
course they do.
Yeah,
don't
that's like a
don't fall for the lie.
cesspool to promote lies. Social
Yeah,
media.
They're promoting lies because remember they themselves have no spine. They're cowards. They're liars. What do you think? Why do you think they're doing this? Because imagine if you could live in a world where you always have people making excuses for you.
Hmm.
yeah, exactly.
You
Nothing
know,
will
that's
get
what it
done.
comes down to.
Yeah,
Everyone's
lies.
a victim.
Like
Everyone's a victim no
West
matter what.
West.
Yeah.
Even though what is it? You got Eastern women that talk about it. Even though they look at themselves around 19 2000, they already say like we already existed. So what's the thing? Because I think right now the media on Western they want to reverse back to the old time where these type of slavery and messaging, man, it ain't no like around to 17,000 or 15,000, whatever.
That's really going far back.
I know that's what the media wants to do.
But bro, remember, if you believe in yourself and you like society doesn't want you to, it doesn't want guys like you or me or Revenant or even like anyone. They don't want women. They don't want us to be who we really are. What they want is for
Yeah,
everyone to be weak, for everyone to deny reality, right? Like
yeah,
pretending like you see, like virtue signalers, right? Where they're like, oh,
yeah,
this
yeah.
has always been problematic. There's no need for her to be sexy. They're lying to themselves. They're
Exactly.
lying. They know
Yeah,
what they
Projection.
like. They're a human being just like us. They
yeah,
like
exactly.
sexy women. They are liars. But the
Yeah,
reason why they do this is because they're trying to create a world where nothing they do can be criticized, nothing is false, where the weak people can walk around protected by society, and the people that actually know who they are and are strong-minded are going to fall behind because they're tired of losing, they're tired of being losers, and instead of actually pushing themselves to be better, they want a world where you can blame everybody else and daddy government can take care of you. That's
It's
really
like
what the end game is.
it's the only way they see themselves winning is
and,
Yeah,
and
by
when and
exactly.
when and when I say
switching the
daddy
roles and
government,
everything.
and when I say daddy government, I don't mean the actual government, because really it's fucking private corporations bribing them to
Yeah,
do whatever they want. So
even though
mhm.
I would say this, even though in Demon telling the truth, it's just based around these people with their suits, like these old people trying to like brag about and complain about everything. But even though, let's be honest, Reverend, they do hate a lot of young men around industry that have smart and good talented skill
But
more
they
than
Yeah,
also
well,
they also hate women. They
yeah,
hate women too
yeah,
because
they
they
don't
hate
like people who think for themselves. If they see they can't manipulate others, then they'll find ways to break people down who are more mentally like stronger, and
yeah.
they'll manipulate the
exactly, bro.
easily manipulated people to join them and basically fight along their side, which is what you see in what companies and, for example, like game studios, they start doing some dumb shit, and then you have a bunch of people who are making excuses for them and getting at anyone who even criticizes them for
Yeah,
doing shit
well,
that a lot of people would know is fucking stupid.
yeah, and the thing is, because we all know these gaming websites are not like actual gamers. It's just them trying to like be around party house. They don't care about you know anything that
Yeah.
is actually true. They
Let me actually give you
care
an
about
example.
sitting around kids. But the thing is, what they want, they won't allow kids to be around. Even though we all see in this generation, they're allowing kids to like be actually sexualized and also having predators around them to
Yeah.
abuse them. And the fact back in the late 2000s, look how much time in real life people arrested those predators. They're
Mhm.
for the business.
Well, all right, so
Yeah.
you see how we're talking about this and how it went from the gaming conversation to this conversation. This is the thing that people fail to realize. People
That's
always talk about like, oh, I'm tired of anti-woke people. I'm tired of these people. They don't understand that it's all connected because it's being used to control and manipulate the discussion and the dialogue surrounding these things.
Mhm.
Because
yeah,
ultimately, it's all this shit is about protecting corporate interest.
Yeah.
yeah,
And
true.
and it's sad because remember that, like, look, it's easy. Most people they tend to want to take the easy road. If you tell somebody, oh, you need to work out, you need to make sure you have money, you need to make sure you can provide for your family, that you're skilled. All of that shit is hard. All of that shit takes determination and willpower.
Yeah,
It's
it's
easier
hard.
to say. It's easier for people to get people to say, no, it's everyone else's fault. You've been oppressed your whole life. You're a victim. Let the government pay you to stay at home and do nothing. You have this mental disorder. You don't need to work. You can't handle it. You're weak. Let us give you money from other taxpayers. And then the people that actually build up that actually build themselves up, they're paying the price. They're the ones who are paying because that's the tax force. That's the tax. That's the money that's being pushed into it. You get
Yeah,
what I'm saying? So
that's the thing.
it's messed up when you think about it, because most people just want to play video games, they just want to watch their movies, they want to decompress, and instead you're constantly bombarded with all this shit,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
it never ends.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
It will
it
never
never
get to the
fails
Western.
because you think you're like, all right, surely this game or this movie with this like type of rating behind it or this
Yeah,
type of setting and all
yeah,
that, surely I'll be safe with it. But no,
yeah.
I mean,
Even though,
fucking
right?
kids can't
Even
even watch regular cartoons without there being some type of message put in there.
Like
even
Steven
though what is
Universe.
it right
Yeah,
now?
Steven Universe or Blue's
I would
Clues
say
or whatever it is.
even though
Yeah.
right now, what is it? Some YouTube talk about the Western media trying their best to attack Japan, and they can't let this thing to let go. Everything around Japan is activity. Like the family, they're allowed to like have any option, and that's their region, that's their law to have family around.
Mhm.
advertisement. But they
Mm.
but the Western Union going so hard because of this ridiculous shit. They don't want anything with kids and family and all that.
They don't
Yep.
want people to be happy
What
because they're miserable, bro. They're miserable. Like
exactly?
that's the
But
thing. They're miserable, bro.
And
Because
they
remember,
want everyone to be miserable like
yeah,
exactly.
them.
think about it. Who you think is really happier? They talk about like toxic masculinity and shit. Who you think is happier? The 600-pound bozo woman complaining about the patriarchy, or the guy who goes to the gym every day and takes his family to fucking to a amusement park or to a theme park or to dinner or to baseball
But
games and
To a
shit?
move to the movie
man,
theater or something.
man,
Yeah.
and even let's be honest, guys. Even though before we want after before we get in dragging Dogma 2, let's
Mhm.
be honest. Look how much time women always care about, nurse care and also school too. They
Mhm.
don't go out doing school programming and also what else? Being good at customer assistant. That's their really good skill and their most popular skill too. And the
Yeah.
thing they're not good at, writing on games. It's just mostly men.
Yeah,
And
well,
bro,
then when you
like,
see these
mhm.
studios with a bunch of women, what usually ends up happening?
Exactly.
You
we
you, you get what we're getting now.
Exactly.
When it
True.
when it
which
was
is mhm, which is
when it was just like nerdy guys and nerdy girls, because there were women who were making games at the time, but when they
Exactly.
start talking about half of our studio is comprised of women and all this other shit, when they're boasting about how many women are in the studio, that's like a red flag, because
Yeah.
not
And
just not just that, because you also see the pictures of them, and they always have colored hair, overweight, just piercings, tattoos all over the place, just looking like any other person you'll see on Twitter complaining about dumb shit.
well, because they're making the games for gender ambiguous Twitter people.
Yeah,
That
basically, yeah.
that that's who they're making these games, and they're also making them. They're trying to take series and make them for women instead of just making series for women. So
Yep. Just they're hijacking everything.
instead of making like a series that actually should appeal to women, they'll take God of War and make Kratos act like a bitch, for example.
Hmm.
exactly,
And
bro.
then it's
Or
like, all
Mortal
right,
Kombat.
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. And also the thing too.
Or
Um,
even the Fable reboot.
yeah, yeah. Just to let you know too. The thing too. Even though I did be on a live stream, I think Savar Meitner telling probably around this generation, like, probably I think men want to like make the women do the work. Even though around UK we got like Queen, I think they want to step down and allow women do the work because it like probably I think many people don't want the same stuff. But
You know, you know what this reminds me of? What you're saying, Reborn, and this whole subject. Even like with the gamers and like and everybody, honestly, with humanity.
yeah,
You know, like you have like a dog, right, or like a cat or
yeah,
whatever pet, and they get stuck in something.
hmm
And like the shit is like they'll get like wrapped up or tangled up, and you're trying to free them, but they're scared, so they're just like biting you and shit, and like and scratching and like going crazy because they're afraid. And it's like they don't realize that you're trying to actually help them. Like,
exactly,
you know what I'm talking about?
yeah, true,
Like, or like, you get what I'm saying, right? Like the animal is panicking because it's hurt, and you're trying to help the animal, and they're just struggling and flailing, and they don't know better. They don't know that you're trying to help them. To them, you're just also trying to hurt them. They just feel generally unsafe.
Hmm.
That's what these people are. It's like they think that these organizations and shit are trying to help them because they're like, oh well, my life is miserable, or my things are not going my way, or I'm tired of everything being this way. So I'm gonna rely on the government. I'm gonna rely on these private companies to tell me what a good and bad person is
Yep.
because it makes me feel safe. They don't realize that the people that are like quote unquote toxically masculine, or the women that are very feminine, that it bothers them because it's like to them they're the enemy and they don't realize that they're getting played, you
Yep.
know. They don't
yeah,
realize that they're the animal caught in a trap and just flailing at anybody who comes near them, which is why
true.
like somebody like Melanie Mack, even though I don't agree with her on a lot of things, I can
Yeah,
see
I don't agree with her too, bro.
on a
Even
lot of
though,
things.
even
But
though, personally, I would say, personally, my opinion, what we call a TV animation, that's considered for me. Where's
mhm.
where's the original one since around 1994? I like that one the most.
But my whole point of bringing her up is this:
Yeah,
that I don't agree with her on everything, but it's
Yeah,
kind of true that when she says shit like they're making these women ugly, they're doing all these things because they need to. They're trying to basically create a situation where they don't want women to act like women.
yeah,
And,
that's true.
and even though she says a lot of dumb shit, don't get me wrong, at least she
Yeah,
doesn't try to act unfeminine. She actually acknowledges that, which is kind of rare because most women don't. You know.
yeah,
Although admittedly she says a lot of shit. I tell Revenant sometimes she says shit. I see posts from her and I'm like, this is some dumbass shit she's saying. But
yeah. And
generally,
also, and also,
generally, I
let
kind of
me
agree
say
with her
this.
though, and a lot of subjects
Even though
too.
the
Same.
media told me about her too, because the fact, like, what is it? Even though there is a protest, right? And even though what is it? A church building got dropped down. She was kindly laughing about it, but I don't find that funny. Even
Yeah.
though I'm not a religion of Christianity, but I don't find that type of stuff funny where they go around marching around burning religion down and every building like the mosque or maybe a
Oh,
Buddhist
because
temple.
she's Christian, so maybe it has something to do with that.
See, that's one of the main things I disagree with her on is that she claims to
Yeah.
be a Christian, but she does a lot of shit that's that's like dumb. Like I'm a Christian, but I'm covered in tattoos. Like I'm
Yeah.
like, or whatever. But
Yeah, yeah. And
uh,
even though the thing with kind of Owens too, because the fact
mm,
like she's not happy how Andrew Tate convert himself to Muslim, but that's his
mm.
own. That,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I generally don't agree with her with a lot of shit, but she at least talks against the woke shit. So even
yeah,
though
Yeah,
in
at
a way
least.
in a way she's a hypocrite, she's a pretty face that
that,
gets attention that's talking against that stuff. So I'm kind of willing to tolerate her because at least, like I said, like ultimately she's like a attractive woman generally that's
yeah,
talking about
yeah,
these subjects and has a lot of attention, which
yeah,
means
Yeah.
which is good
And when
because
you
then that
think
means
about
people
it,
are gonna hear the anti woke message because they're gonna be watching her content.
yeah,
yeah,
and
true,
when you
true.
think about it, it's like, a lot of people that, we generally like enjoy watching or like reading whatever they're posting or whatever, well, we usually agree with them for the most part. There's
True, true,
also going to be times where,
true,
we're
true.
going to find things that we don't necessarily agree with them on. So,
Yeah, yeah. Same to me.
yeah.
I find something respect, but I find something which I don't respect. Something.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah,
Razor Fist, when Razor Fist was talking about the when Razor Fist was didn't bash Boulder's Gate, I'm like, how the
Yeah,
hell is this
first.
guy not bashing this game? And I'm not saying
Yeah.
that like he has to bash it, but the fact that he
It
still
just goes against like
yeah
what he usually ends up saying. But
yeah,
he did acknowledge it in his Starfield stream
yeah
where
he
he's like
yeah,
eventually he
yeah.
eventually
making fun of
acknowledged
it.
it,
And
or even Eric
he
July.
also did a review of Baldur's Gate 3, and he did get into detail about it, and also went in on Larian Studios for doing all that shit. So
Yeah,
And even Eric July, I like Eric July, but he says shit that sometimes I'm like, all right, this is kind of dumb,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
true, true. Even saying with Ryan Kenner and Geeks and Gamers,
Yeah.
yeah, hmm,
majority of people love to smash them. Well, one
Hmm.
thing to make clear about them, they only got 6,000 and 7,000 views, but not like 100,000 because they can't even do it that
Like
much.
the thing is like, and ultimately you could generally agree with somebody, and there's always going to be little things here and there. Like I remember Eric July tried to defend the Marvel's Avengers game when that came out,
hmm,
and I was like, come on, man, like this is like pathetic.
yeah,
Like that game was like, not only was that game woke trash, but it was like a shitty game as a service. I'm like, I can't believe this guy is like trying to like hype this up, especially since at that time he was actively talking against Marvel and DC as well,
yeah.
which kind of made it even like more funny.
Yeah, true, true.
So I just find that hilarious, bro. But ultimately, like again, it's just good that you have people talking against this stuff. So in the end of the day, like I generally still like them. You know,
Yeah, the
Yeah,
it's
more
not
yeah,
like I
people, the
dislike
better,
them.
because then it makes it like easier for other people to actually like have the courage to speak up against it, because it's so easy to be like smothered by people telling them like, no, you shouldn't say this, you shouldn't say that, or people like worrying about being canceled or being bombarded by a bunch of like negative comments and whatnot.
But
So it's good that there are people who are speaking out against it and getting into detail what's going on, and sometimes you hear things that you normally wouldn't hear. So some people may bring an issue to light that you didn't even know wasn't even an issue. Then you look into it, or you hear them out and what they're saying, and you realize, oh, like this really is like a big deal.
Yeah, true.
And I just think that all of this stuff has trickled down into gaming, but it really is a multi-layered complex issue. And so like if you really analyze it, man, like the amount of things that need to be fixed it's really an uphill battle. And not only is it an uphill battle, but people have to like want to change, you know what I mean? Like the fact that you have grown men pretending that they don't like sexy women, that they don't like action or masculinity, and it's obviously like you could tell it's just a cult. It's like they're hoping that if they act like this sus feminist, it's like the age-old story. This guy he talks positively about a game that is like what was that game that came out from Square Enix?
Forspoken?
Like, oh, if I talk positively about Forspoken, if I talk positively about Saints Row Reboot and dye my hair blue and shit, maybe these women, maybe these mid feminists might give me pussy.
Yeah,
maybe.
Or no one will go
Like-
after me for my fucking sexual
assault shit, and then they have then they have crazy backgrounds too. So
yeah, and then you realize that they're fucking so and so just been charged for something. And
because
then you look at their history, they're basically acting like a male feminist, then they're being charged with some egregious shit.
You in my opinion, you can never trust people. In my opinion, you can't really trust people who pretend in such a way. Like to me, the most trustworthy, honorable men I've ever met were the ones that are open, like, oh yeah, like they can just say, oh, that woman's hot, you know, whatever. Like, but I don't know how to put it. I guess I could say that the more bluntly people speak about these subjects and the more honest it is, like you can feel it. You know what I mean?
It's like that saying, like the people who scream the loudest have the most to hide, or some shit.
Yeah. Because you know that guy that they always portray it, like it sounds messed up, but you know that guy in movies they'll portray that he's kind of like a jock type. He goes after he's competitive. He likes going after like the cheerleader or whatever, like that kind of typical thing. That guy is actually not a bad guy, bro. He's not. They're rarely really the bad guys in those stories. I mean, unless they're what makes him a bad guy is kind of being a bully. But really, I'm talking about like the mindset of like being competitive, wanting to like have the hottest girl, wanting to be the best version of yourself. Those are all actually good qualities. And you got to think that a lot of times the nerdy character, he'll be like afraid. He'll like back down because he doesn't want to get beat up. That's actually a negative trait. That's actually like a bad thing.
Yeah,
you know?
True.
So that's why in movies they'll make in movies and games they'll make that jock character a bully, and they'll make the nerd a guy who has like he stands up for himself. That's what makes them good, and that's kind of like what flips the roles in entertainment. But in real life, most of the time that guy is not the bad guy, you know. And actually, the person who's cowardly is the person you have to watch out for, because that's the guy that will stab you in the back. And once they get power, they don't know what to do with it.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
True. By the way, what is it, Genpachi? Even though, what is it? We gonna discuss about sports next week, but we're gonna discuss about PlayStation 2. Let's move on to Dragon Dogma.
Okay.
What's my opinion about Dragon Dogma 2? So personally, the open world and also even though the graphics can be okay, but my main problem is the gameplay. So why take a look how they done to that main pawn, our character like Arisen? They went and copied Bloodborne and also Elden Ring to make that player to move just like that.
Wait, what do you mean by that exactly?
No, have you seen that reason? Even though when it's on battle, it runs the same, just like Bloodborne and Elden Ring, the movement and the sprinting.
Does
Oh,
it?
you mean the animations themselves?
Yeah, it's the same like Bloodborne and also Elden Ring. But if you take
I didn't really like notice that it looked similar. It looked different to Dragon's Dogma 1.
It looked heavier for sure.
Yeah. I didn't really like see it as like, oh, it was like Bloodborne or Elden Ring, because even when they show like that the female Arisen that they showed off, and also the male Arisen. They both had different like running and walking animations. Where the female, she was like more like feminine in her movement, where the male was more like masculine.
In Dragon's Dogma, you could make them caked up in the first game. I remember that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I didn't notice that with the movement either, man. But that, I mean, I don't remember exactly, so I don't want to say that that's wrong because I don't remember. But I gotta like see for myself again.
Because from what I can remember, like what always like looked to me is that From Software, they would like they copy and paste a lot of the same like animations and sound effects from going back to like Dark Souls 1. I don't know if any of you like noticed that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
They do. They reuse a lot of assets. They do.
Yeah. Because
But
at least a lot of assets where they have from Dragon Dogma and they prove from it from Dragon Dogma 2. But I just don't like the sprint animation.
well,
Maybe they'll have like options for it. Like you can change it.
I mean, to me, it looked fine. I thought, to be honest, like when I saw Dragon's Dogma 2, I thought it looked good. I thought the movement looked great, actually. I didn't see really an issue with it.
All right.
But that's my opinion. But again, like I respect it if you don't like it, because you know.
Yeah, not everyone's gonna like it. They may like feel like it should look different. It should look better.
Yeah, exactly, Reverend. It should look a little bit more better, not just trying to follow the same.
Yeah, I personally like how it looked, but you know, it's like to each their own. Like if someone thinks it could look better, or if they feel like, oh, it looks too similar to this game. In a way, I can understand it because when you think about it, they're both like, for example, Dragon's Dogma 2 and Elden Ring. They're both like action RPGs.
Yeah, but
So,
at least I would at least Elden Ring got like its same sprint animation, but I think Dragon Dogma take a look at that animation. But for me personally, I could just like I could think and twinkle a bit more for the animation, so it could be more good.
I mean, like this, they don't have a release date yet for it, so maybe they'll change it. Like for all we know, who knows?
Well, all right. So this is what my take was on it, because I actually have two takes on both those things.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily. This is gonna sound kind of weird, but I'm gonna just say it. I don't think it necessarily has to be new animations entirely. Like for a sequel, for a sequel to a game.
Not the fighting on the combat. Nah.
But when I'm talking, I'm gonna tell you exactly what I mean. Like there should be a lot. Like, all right, let's say they make a new game. Most of the animations should be new. But I don't mind if there's some like reused ones, especially if it makes sense. Like, so you know, I play a lot of Batman Arkham games, right? And in each game, in each sequel to the game, they add new moves, but Batman still has reused animations from the previous game. So there's moves in Arkham Knight that he's had since Asylum, but there's also a lot of new shit that's mixed in with it. So I think that that's okay, especially if it makes sense with the context of the game. And like, also like, I kind of don't think it's that big of a deal as long as it's not a total cut and paste. Like, for example, like I finished Dark Souls 3 and I have Elden Ring. And like, sure, there are some reused animations, but it's not a cut and paste. You get what I'm saying? There's a lot of new shit in the game too. So I think it's kind of acceptable depending on the level that it's done.
Yeah, because even the Yakuza games, they have like a lot of like new shit with like animations and all that. So,
and even wrestling games, sometimes they'll redo animations and they'll be far worse. So sometimes it's actually better to keep the older animation because it looks so good. Comparatively,
or the UFC games.
Yeah, where like EA Sports, some of the animations look far worse, like the ground game, for example.
Yeah, true.
So
other than the the running animations, like what else did you like? What else did you see like that? I guess like stood out to you, Reborn, from Dragon's Dogma 2.
So for me, I will say personally, I've seen like how they improve with these ogre and also these big ass golem and all that, where it drop, where if a big giant monster drop, you can cross through them, which I kind of like. and that
Yeah, I like that too. It's like they pretty much like make a bridge out of them.
That is pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty sick. I kind of like the idea of like I like that they brought back climbing on the enemies and being able to like stab them and like kill them that way. I find that
Yeah,
like
that
very
would have been terrible if they had gotten rid of that.
it's very cinematic, you know? Like you ever like to me that's like an extra layer of like immersion where you're like on this giant monster because I think like anybody like you're playing these games and like you ever feel like you're fighting a giant boss and you're like, oh, why doesn't he just hang on to him and stab him repeatedly, right, or something like that? So
yeah, a lot of those games you just be like slashing at the ankles and their feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's another thing I like, that the blows look more heavy and they look like they resonate more with the enemies when you hit them, which I think is if that's really good, because one thing that I hate is JRPGs where like it feels like your weapons are like sliding across the enemies instead of like actually hitting them.
Yeah. It's good. Yeah. So sorry guys. Someone trying to miss me in Discord, but I told him to like go on YouTube to comment about something that I can respond, because I can't be going to another drift. Yeah. But also by Reverend, the only thing I like too, how your rising character, you can like hop in with the Griffin and also take them which location where he wants to go, which is cool. Which kind of like it. But I want to see how it goes, because I want to see the new outfit for which they made, or if they bring back the regular outfit, because I want to see new things. Because it would be cool if they had like the Spartan helmet and also maybe some Rome and Greece type stuff, but I just don't know, because I think it won't work in the game.
Yeah, I think it depends on like the setting. Like it's very I mean,
I think it's gonna
like,
be European. It's medieval European armor and shit like that.
It's heavily inspired by like Berserk.
Yeah.
Probably see like
I'm glad
and weapons.
That, because that is so good. And also let me tell you the good thing too. I like how they expand around open world, where you have to go to the desert, and also you can go to another places to take.
I like the new location they showed, because in the first Dragon's Dogma, everything kind of felt very samey.
Yeah, like it's like definitely like a lot of reused textures and shit.
My main problem too, that even they want you to go on hard mode to like restart the thing, but you can't even level higher. Because the only thing I like in the game where Bloodborne or probably Dragon Ball Z, you can level up and do different quests. No matter which level you're at, you can try and do it and be good.
Yeah, the game definitely warns you too. They'll tell you like the warning, this area you should be recommended level or whatever. Yeah. So it kind of gives you like a sense of like, all right, they won't let you walk into like a game breaking save where you can't leave a cave or something like that.
Yeah, that is one thing I didn't like about the first Dragon's Dogma 1, is that you only have the one save, and if it auto saves, then like you better make sure you didn't like go anywhere you weren't supposed to, or you're in an area maybe like you're not at the right level or something like that, because it could happen, because you get a lot of like quests early on, go to the towns. It's like the bulletin board in some of the towns, you take on different quests.
Well, you remember that happened to me in Dragon's Dogma 1. I don't know if you remember, Revan. I went to that
Dark
cave.
Horizon. Guys, Dark Horizon, even though they want you to go on different level to restart again. But personally, in my opinion, I just wish they brought back the same equipment. That's the thing I have my main issue with. Because it would be best if you brought back the same equipment and have your level how it is. If you want to do it. Or even though we finish the game, at least trying to like have some other quests, a lot of different quests. Once a player finished, they can do more different quests and explore more.
Yeah, like exclusive content to like New Game Plus, I guess.
Exclusive. Give them more.
So you get like new like weapons and armor. Maybe you can further upgrade the weapons and armor on New Game Plus. Things like that. because they'll give people
Yeah.
more of an incentive to try New Game Plus because it won't just be
Yeah,
like, all right, the enemies are harder.
yeah,
but
yeah.
you can actually add more to it, where it's almost like you're playing like a second half of the game again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. But then that would kind of, I agree with that. Like they should make like special armor, special weapons you can only get in a New Game Plus. Maybe a
Yeah.
special like hidden bosses or
It
side
doesn't have to
quests.
be anything like crazy, like they just feel like please change the game, like flip it
Well,
on top of his head, but just add a little like additional shit to it where it's not just simply, all right, now I'm gonna play it and it's harder now. Maybe like there's a
yeah.
little more to it.
I think the reason why they don't do stuff like that more often is just because like if a player just wants to do his one playthrough
Yeah.
and he's not that good at the game, he gets through it, he'll definitely miss out on a ton of content unless he doesn't.
Yeah, or
And like
maybe
to,
it's just like, you just want to play the game, get through it, and then move on to the next game.
yeah. I mean, I mean, on one hand, I feel like that's the player's problem if they don't want to like challenge themselves again. But I kind of feel like developers, especially nowadays, they're always trying not to like not
Penalize
include.
anyone.
Yeah, exactly. Not
You know,
penalize anyone.
Yeah, so if they don't do it, they don't feel like a certain like, like, oh damn, I should
I-
have.
Yeah, because
Should-
what?
Yeah.
Even though shout to Riff, because they used to tell like when Dragon Dogma 1 or maybe Dark Arisen launched,
Oh, I know that channel. It's a good channel.
they supposed to be like adding some new characters, like some new rise character like the lion, all that type
Oh
of
yeah,
stuff.
the like a beast race type of
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, I like that. It actually does look cool in
Yeah.
the game.
Yeah, but I think they call it out. But for this,
No, you can in Dragon's Dogma 2 they have it.
yeah, I know. But in one, they
Oh
out,
yeah, I'm
that's
sorry.
saying.
No, you're right. I actually heard people were saying that it was cut out from the original Dragon's Dogma.
Yeah,
So
but they could just do more better with it.
yeah, I mean, I'm glad that it's in Dragon's Dogma 2, and also like the new classes. I mean, I'm sorry, the new vocations that they have, like the what is it, the pole you can use. So almost kind of like a monk in a way.
Yeah, like
pretty
a monk
cool.
staff.
So I'm kind of curious, like how the hybrid vocations for that is going to be.
You know what
Maybe
will be
it'll
really
like magic, where you're spinning it around. It's almost like a lightning staff or some shit like that.
I think it'll be cool if they made if they had a thing where you could do hand to hand,
No,
like a hand to hand fighting style of some sort, like some kind of monk or whatever.
Yeah,
I always kind of like that stuff.
They actually have it where you could, if you don't have any weapons equipped, like especially in the first one, you're in prison, so you don't have your equipment right away. So if you get out of prison, and if you don't get I think you get all your equipment back once you are out of prison.
Yeah, I like.
You can re-equip everything you had before then.
Yeah.
Basically, like in these like dirty rags, and you are unarmed, but you can also fight unarmed. But
I mean, like advance upon it. Make it a true vocation. Like make it like a real thing that you can specialize in.
Yeah.
Kind of like Oblivion.
Kind of like Oblivion, but like just even more in depth. Like you know how like Skyrim had like special animations like for melee, stuff like that. I think would be very cool.
Well, guys, and also the one thing, guys, let me tell you the one thing I'm glad they bring back, even though we are seeing from the original Dragon Dogma and also Dark Arisen, like they bring back Chimora, and what else? I hope that they do bring back the other dragons too. That would be great.
I'm sure they will. Yeah. Because they kind of basically have like the same dragon from that takes your heart from the first one.
Yeah, maybe
so,
another.
I forgot his name.
Yeah, maybe another ogre.
The Cyclops are there.
Yeah, the Cyclops. That's what I'm saying. Oh yeah, I forgot to say. I hope we bring big
the goblins are back.
And more. And the dark Cyclops too. The stone.
Oh yeah. Hope they should definitely bring back the enemies they had in Dark Arisen, the DLC.
Yeah. I hope they do bring back that one back too.
Like
and
the
another
Reaper.
thing for improvement, I really want to see developers doing ultimate attack where they use type of very full power special abilities, where they're slashing like
that would be kind of cool.
That would be.
But like
amount of damage to the monsters, that would be great.
You know what I want them to do. You know how what I like about Dark Souls is, and I wish that they would. I would hope they would add it into Dragon's Dogma. Is that the special moves feel very connected to like the gameplay, where it doesn't feel like I'm watching a cutscene. Because I like the interactivity of like I don't know how familiar you are with Elden Ring or Dragons or Dark Souls or
Yeah,
whatever, but you
yeah,
know how you have special attacks that are built around like certain moves or certain weapons or like certain skills that you equipped on the weapon, so you can do like a special attack on it. But it's not really triggered like a cutscene. It's more like
It's still in game. It doesn't like.
everything is in game, very connected. I kind of like those kind of special moves more. So I like your idea of like adding those special moves, but I don't want it to feel like I'm doing like an ultimate attack in Dragon Ball Z or something. I want it to feel like I'm doing it within the world,
yeah.
within the
Well,
gameplay.
in the
People,
first Dragon's Dogma, one of the vocations, it's like a hybrid where I think it's like what was it, mage archer or a mystic knight. Ooh, I forgot what it was. But basically, you have like the daggers equipped, and he basically you hold the button down. He drops down to one knee, and he's like charging this like holy like power or some shit. And then once you release it, it's like this like blast that shoots out. That it happens in real time. So maybe they'll have something like that.
That would be cool. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if it was in Dragon's Dogma 1, I'm pretty sure they'll make a better version of it for Dragon's Dogma 2.
Yeah,
yeah.
I would be
I would
surprised
assume.
if they had like
That would
moves
be
that kind of like interact, like are kind of like cutscene and not like real time within the battle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope they do good
But
type of
tag team moves would be pretty cool.
And
Like
and
yeah,
remember that
tag team that
double
will be
attack,
great, bro.
you
Tag
hold
and
like
I
an enemy down or something.
and I think that because it's Capcom that might be possible because I don't know if you remember in Resident Evil 5 they had stuff where like if you grab the character
Oh
like
yeah,
you'll grab them and then the partner could come in and hit them and stuff. So it's not like Capcom is a stranger to that kind of idea.
well, they
So
actually even brought back you can give the character a boost up to a higher location.
yeah.
yeah.
So they kind of
Like
brought that in from what's that shit called, Resident Evil 5.
Yeah.
hey,
So who knows? Maybe we'll get that.
hold on for a sec. Hey, Rio, you can comment. You can comment to me. It's fine. Comment here if you wanna say something. Just say something if you want to comment on my video like it did, cause you don't need to join. Sorry, it's just like
Maybe
um
it's easy for them just to comment.
yeah, but this way. But by the way, let's carry on. Um, like that, you're right, and I hope to do what you say possibly can. But please don't be no content. Just bring in the full content for majority people enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
But my main problem is I just hope no media trying their best to cancel this game. Either way, it came to success and it does well. I hope there is no outcry of this stupid.
There might be based on like how maybe some of the characters made.
They're gonna complain about the women in the game because I remember in the first game you could give them a giant ass,
Yeah,
all of that,
Yeah, but I'm talking about
all of
Western
that.
people. They always want to fight something. Say
No, they
like
won't. That's why
every
I'm
game,
hoping that they don't
like
try to
they
cater
will
to the West
just
with
ruin it.
Dragon's Dogma 2.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't think they will, but I would be very disappointed if there's body type A and B instead of male and female.
Mm-hmm.
I really feel like I really want them to like not be freaks and actually just live in reality with the rest of the normal people.
yeah. I just really want the game to be succeed and do well and win a game of the year. And F what every media site trying to do. Because look what at Elder Ring. It does have the same thing, but at least it's still like win game of the year. Because
Yeah,
apparently, you see how
Yeah.
Ubisoft gets so triggered over Elder Ring. Because they felt like majority people like how its gameplay and quality. Even though they're trying to change a lot of things, yes, but they try to hard to like put in some.
that's because it's a reflection of how shit Ubisoft is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
Ubisoft
they're basically
made
mad
the
that
RPG.
Japanese developers can do what they can't.
With a quarter of the budget.
Yeah, but Reverend, let me say this. Even though the Assassin's Creed Mirage got launched on October, personally, well, look at it. Okay, I see how they bring back the original Assassin, like the robot type of stuff. But the Hidden Blade, where they want you to press R1 or RB, eh.
They're still
And also,
doing goofy shit because they have that
yeah,
teleporting
exactly.
shit
Like the
and all
make,
that, and
they
they're
They
like,
make
had
"Oh,
they
it's a glitch in the
back to
animation." It's like
teleport.
it's just a bunch of loopholes
No,
that you're trying to go through
to use
no,
to
magic to
add a
have
no,
bunch
use
of goofy
magical
shit.
no.
shit. It's a loophole to add magical shit in there.
Yeah,
Yeah, and let me say this. No America, oh gosh. Black America again was just BS. But anyway, it's Savard main upload his live stream because I think he's got a live stream. But I have to turn on Discord, I can't, make it because I really want him to like collaborate. So me and you have great and discuss about things. But anyway, let's carry on. But I would say, what is it? I want to say, like I said, for Assassin's Creed Mirrors, like Basim, no other Assassin didn't talk about, the fact that Ubisoft adding amount of goofy stuff, the teleportation. That's some latest for stealth
Well,
action game.
hmm
they want to add magical shit and fantasy
Yeah,
shit. So
exactly.
they're gonna
Not
do whatever it takes.
Assassin community do not want these type of weirdo shit. Even
But
though
the takedowns are basically like feared takedowns in Batman. Yet Batman does it without magic. So why can't the assassin do it if they're gonna copy it anyway?
yeah.
Like
at least Batman makes sense for takedown. He doesn't need to have like these. What is it?
he's
These
not teleporting.
hmm
exactly.
Yeah,
But why can't if you take a Ghost of Tsushima? This is why Ghost of Tsushima sell more success than
yeah.
Ubisoft.
They did
At
it
least
right.
Yeah,
its takedown are good.
hmm
yeah.
It's crazy because it's like how many
latest.
Assassin's Creed games have they made? And they still can't get shit right.
Yeah,
It's
and
funny
Still want to
because
hang on to this
guys,
RPG
guys,
shit.
let me tell you this. Hello, guys. Just to let everyone know, we return back to roots. It's gonna be based around Unity root, but take a look at Unity compared to this right now, Mirage.
Unity whoops his
It
ass.
is Valhalla DLC.
Yeah, that's
But
all it is. Yeah, they just
yeah,
stripped it. They just stripped it down so it's his own game, and
goofy
they can
stuff.
ground it. But then you look at the jumping animations. It looks weird. Like everything about it just feels half-ass, and it just
Okay,
seems like they're just trying to like get some extra money because they're not doing too well right now, and they're
exactly.
baiting people with, oh, it's back to its roots. This is no different
AKA
than with Coalition with Saints Row.
AKA a cash in that they're calling a new game that's really DLC.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then on top of
bro.
that, um, you have the Prince of Persia DLC where it has like this golden horse and you got this glowing sword and shit. His
It's
outfit is him. He
ass,
doesn't even
bro.
have the hood on. And then
That's his
another
ass.
way to baiting people in is that, oh, they were even talking about there's a filter in the game where it looks similar to the filter that was used in Assassin's Creed 1.
Yeah.
All this
Okay,
game
okay.
Mirage is just them trying to bait old fans back in, keep some new fans in, which is why they're
Even
still
more
doing the teleporting
YouTubers
shit,
saying
and that's
this
it.
too, because the fact, like, what is it? Assassin Den talk about it's funny, like how they trying to bring a lot of these YouTubers to try their games,
Yep.
and the fact, like, he didn't get no book, but he will say how it is. Like, there's a lot of good, but there's a lot of flaws around the game.
Well,
See,
you're
another
yeah.
pro. That's the same thing. Like we be saying, because the fact, like, okay, you bring back the bombs, but what about the outfits? What about new type of outfits? Not having it like recolored, bro. Why having it recolored? You're supposed to be having different type of outfits for assassins. At least in Assassin's Creed 1, you
I
can
think
make
they're
it.
adding that. I think they do have that in there where you can also dye the colors and shit
Yeah,
like
yeah. I
that.
know. I can
But
understand they want dye the colors,
but
but
they're
take
just
what
bringing
Unity.
like basic shit back, and then everyone's trying to act like they did something like brand new or something. Like they were really listening to people, and it's like no, like
No,
it's
Well,
no.
a
Like
half-assed job.
Revenant. Even
this is
though.
a cash in though. It's a
Yeah,
cash in to get people to come back so that they can release more bullshit ESG RPGs. So basically, like it's kind of like with the Last of Us One, where they re-released it after two, was dog shit. They re-released the first game to try to rebuild faith back with the people that like the first game.
But
So it's a
still
similar
doesn't
tactic.
need, still doesn't need no remake. And I know what Noid are doing, but still don't do that much good. But also,
Mhm.
and jump out and listen to me. Even though take a look at Assassin's Creed 1 to Unity, at least you can do colors around it. But the thing, at least for Edgeo, you can unlock these outfits, like the Master Assassin outfits.
Oh yeah,
But
because of the tombs, right?
yeah, but for Unity got different outfits. You can have different type of robes. And they saying like, oh, we return back Unity roots. You don't return back Unity roots. Look how much time people want to see new type of system, new type of gameplay. But
Mhm.
it's like third person to the side of the car, like Ghost of Tsushima, where Ava is, but
Yeah,
not
it's just like a
not
watered
not
down Valhalla.
yeah, not at least trying to like make how Unity is like the camera angle, good parkour system,
Hmm.
a lot of things. Even though, okay, the one thing they did good on the parkour where you can lift things and climb at the same time. But what about having good pace? Even though parkour system must do good pace, but the thing is the assassination and also the combat is still the same like Valhalla. And they say it's Return to Unity. I don't find it Return to Unity at all.
It's
It's the
not.
same
It
thing.
looks it looks way cheaper and more
Yeah,
Yeah,
stiff
nothing
and it's
about it reminds me of Unity
at
or even the
all.
yeah,
old ones.
and the
And
fact like
they move like dog shit in comparison to Unity. They
Yep.
yeah,
move like dog shit.
and guys, let me tell you the worst thing too. Guess what? They confirmed you can't have no weapons. You can have like art. You can't have that sword, but no arts because for Unity you have a lot of weapon like a gun, pistol. What is it?
Shotgun.
Our bow and a
Mhm.
lot of bombs, medicines to distract enemy, and you've forgotten it.
Oh, the darts as well.
Yeah,
Yep. The darts.
yeah, the darts.
But you
Was
know
it
what, man? I think we have to
hallucination darts
accept that
and
it
all that?
died. I think we
Yeah,
just need to
Yeah,
accept that the series is done, bro.
yeah.
Honestly.
They're just trying
yeah,
to find ways now to bring old fans back,
yeah. But and
and
they
they're not
say,
even like
oh, we
making a
want to
good
do
attempt at
remake
it.
of Assassin's Creed for Black Flag, because the thought like Skull and Bones are legit, probably in very low water, very low water right now. They want to delay that and do Black Flag, because the thing is Skull and Bones not doing well for Ubisoft.
I don't know why it's so hard for them to make a damn ship game.
Yeah,
I just think they just need to accept that it's I think the fans that are the fans that are can see through Ubisoft have to just ignore Assassin's Creed. I think
Yeah,
we should I think honestly like we should just pretend it doesn't exist anymore because
yeah.
I was a hardcore Assassin's Creed fan
same
and
than me.
Hmm.
Because
once.
personally,
Mhm.
I would say this. I agree with Jim Patrick because I used to. Because person, I used to like Assassin's Creed 2 and 3, but I changed my mind. I like what's it, Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Unity, but I'll say at least Odyssey is not Assassin's Creed game, but at least Unity, the podcast system was great at its best. But where it comes to like for example right now, Origins and Valhalla to Mirage, not that great. It's still the same. But the thing, Mirage, they paced up a bit. But for Unity, at least you can do the park hour very great and the system good. But
Hmm.
guys, remember Assassin's Creed 2, at least the park hour system was very wonderful.
Yeah, no, it was good.
Yeah, and they
The
don't
animations and everything, like,
yeah,
and then
exactly.
also like as you go along, you get the upgrade basically where they show
Yeah,
you you
yeah,
can you can
the
like leap
sprint.
up and grab
Yeah,
on to a higher like what the fuck like I think basically something for you to you're able to grab like a part of a ledge or something.
yeah. And also, what is it? We only got 15 minutes left. Also, also the thing too, when it comes to like, you know, Unity, and also Assassin's Creed 2 with the pocket system. at least to do like good skill for assassin. But when it comes to like the park hour and the city, you can't at least try and like build it to next to each other. You can't move that much properly. At least you can climb around trees, which I can't do.
And
But
You know what? You know what they should do? They should have a company that, like Assassin's Creed before, like a company, like a studio of devs, maybe even an indie developer that like the previous Assassin's Creed. They need to make their own series and do what Assassin's Creed has abandoned, just so that that fan base can
yeah,
shift there. I think that's
yeah,
the best way to get those kind
yeah,
of games back. Is that
yeah,
if another company comes and makes basically a
yeah,
fixed Assassin's Creed that's their own
yeah,
original
exactly.
IP. Because
But
well,
you're not gonna get that from Ubisoft. I don't Ubisoft is
exactly.
not gonna do it anymore. And I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
people just
but
need to accept that.
yeah, and personally, in my opinion, guys, even though I'm not low key racist, I think it's better to have like Asian people that can do it because at least they have the good podcast system skill to sprint. But Ubisoft don't want to do it because they want to like do these fake diversity. But to be honest,
well,
I
I don't know if any of you've heard of this game called Origami.
No.
mm-mm,
It's kind of like an indie game, but the first one did have a physical release, and the second one came out maybe like 2 years ago or so. And it's basically like a stealth game. You have a character during a hood and whatever, so you got to use like the shadows. You can also climb up to higher locations and assassinate other people there. And I believe it's set in like Japan or China. I'm not sure, like a fictional Japan, China. I'm not exactly sure, like the
You're
exact
racist.
setting.
You think they're the same, racist.
But
Don't
it's
laugh,
actually
Reborn.
like,
You're racist too, Reborn. Don't laugh.
but that's kind of like, I guess, would be like a good substitute for like Assassin's Creed of like how to do it right. But then you also have Ghost of Tsushima, which probably is like another example of that.
Ghost of Tsushima is the game that Assassin's Creed wishes they could make. Ubisoft wishes
yeah,
they could
but
do.
They
fail.
still haven't
They
done one in
can't.
Japan.
They can't say we're racist, but no.
No, they're doing one in Japan. It's just you're not gonna play as a Japanese person.
Oh yeah,
I
you
know,
playing as
but
like
I'm saying they can't. They can say, "Oh, we're racist. We want smart people." But bro, these people around the studio are not doing that great because the thing they got a lot of studios, right? Lot of studios, but the thing apparently most YouTubers saying the one that developed Assassin's Creed Brotherhood and also Unity, they do different projects. But why can't you give that project the Mirage project to them? At least they can change the whole thing and make it start action, you know, adventure game and
I'd rather that
add
studio just
some
make like
different
their
system.
own like Assassin's Creed game
No
from
RPG.
scratch, or a new IP or something. If you
Yeah.
Maybe you know what
if
a
they're
good
gonna
thing
do it
is.
right, then they might as
And
well just do that.
apparently right now, even though they say, oh, the graphic is improved, but it's like Valhalla DLC again.
But
Yeah.
bro,
And
they say the graphics are improved, but they don't look as good as Unity. It has none of the games past Unity, and I guess you could probably say what was the one after that?
Syndicate.
Syndicate. Unity and Syndicate had the best graphics out of the series. None of the
yeah,
current games look better than Syndicate or Unity.
yeah, but I would say at least Unity they got things around, but even though you got like bugs, but around Syndicate they downgrade a little of the park hour system.
No, they did.
They
Yeah, a
did.
lot
They
of it
did. They did.
downgraded.
Yeah, yeah,
Even
yeah.
the
But
equipment and
I'm
everything.
I'm just talking about the graphics themselves, not really like the parkour or like the glitches. Or I'm just talking about strictly graphically.
Yeah, the
Syndicate and Unity are the best looking ones. Period.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
Unity looked really good,
even though
especially the setting.
you got a big bug around launch, but even though the graphics are good, but
Yeah.
the thing is, I
You know
I
what's funny?
really
Unity with like the state it's in now, even though it's not like the most polished Assassin's Creed game, it's
exactly
definitely better than what it was at launch. But
yeah
even Unity now is
exactly
like far superior than any of the Assassin's Creed games that came out after it.
exactly, bro,
It was the
exactly.
most pure to the series in
Yeah, for
comparison. You actually
severe at
interacted
least
with the Brotherhood there and everything.
yeah. I remember the good badass time where Brotherhood, Revelation, Assassin's Creed 4, you got good multiplayer, and even for though from Unity, you can do co-op too. They used to have the little hardware back then, but
The
the
Well,
worst
fact
thing.
is,
I never bothered with the multiplayer in those games.
I thought it sucked, to be honest. I hated it. Personally, I hated the multiplayer
It's
in it.
weird because I would hear people like say like they love the multiplayer, and also I would also hear another side of people that would say they hated it. So
Yeah, I hated it personally. I thought it was dog poo poo.
But at least out of the core community, that was from me. Even though
Yeah, like I think it would work better in Unity with the parkour and stuff.
yeah, with the co-op, it was
where it's like
great.
integrated into it.
But the
Yeah.
fact like after that gone downhill
Yeah,
with
Yeah, they have.
RPG
They
and the
have.
fact like what is it?
they're
They
trying to be like The Witcher.
they claim that what is it? Even though probably is Assassin's Creed Mirage gonna be like a success or not, because they got another Assassin's Creed game called Codename Red. I think
Isn't that going to also be
they,
an
they
RPG?
want
That's
they
going to
want
be an
it
RPG.
like RPG for the new fans.
Yeah, so people are like, oh, if we support this one, then they're gonna stop making the RPGs. Like, no, they already had a freaking stream where they even show Mirage and a bunch of other games they have planned. They basically gave you like this roadmap of games to expect. They're gonna keep doing the RPG shit. Whatever
Yeah,
happens with Mirage, it doesn't matter because first of all, they see it as a lesser game, which is why it's not even being sold for $60.
Which is why it looks like that.
And it looks like that. And on top of that, they're gonna keep doing what they're doing because they're just
Yeah,
gonna do whatever they think is gonna make money. So basically, they're gonna finish everything they have planned, and if they look at Mirage, oh, it does well. Okay, now that we're done releasing all these other Assassin's Creed games we had planned, then maybe now we'll make another game that's similar to Mirage.
yeah.
But
But
other than that, they're still gonna keep doing the
remake. Remember the remake was the remake with the Assassin's Creed 4 Blackfire. It really pissed me off,
waste,
bro. No, from launch. Even though the gameplay is good for Blackfire, don't get me wrong. But the open world map with the ship and all these type of things, it's not that good. It's not that good, bro.
They messed up.
Assassin's Creed Ezio like trilogy's best. They could just gone back to that route because that's where most beloved fans like that series.
But the problem is they killed Desmond. That was the dumbest thing they did.
Yeah, exactly.
Killing Desmond was a brain dead ass decision. Because now they killed
Layla too from the Origins to Valhalla. It's ridiculous.
That's actually a good thing.
That's a good thing. She sucked. Yeah,
exactly.
But it was really fucked up that they did kill off Desmond because that was when it really went downhill.
Yeah, exactly, bro. They killed him, bro.
Because they don't know what to do, bro. That's what it is. They thought that they would kill him off and keep pumping out games, but they don't realize that people don't care about the story anymore because there's no stakes. Like, what is Abstergo's plan anymore? Even it was like this whole conspiracy. Like now they're just like some background fodder.
Just taking artifacts or some shit. Like,
oh wow. It's like, you know what it is? It's like I wonder if they'll ever find all of the artifacts. Maybe after 400 billion games, they might. You know.
And also the thing fans point out too, because they keep on mentioning in the other Assassin's Creed title, oh, Connor have family, Edward got family, Ezio got whatever after blah 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 blah. But it never stated around the previous game, like the Assassin's Creed 1 and Assassin's Creed 2. And those games are absolutely, especially Ezio trilogy is mostly beloved by the fans.
Yeah,
and
it's the best ones.
To remake, this type of ridiculous trash, Assassin's Creed 4, and we all know it's gonna be around like Skull and Bones, like copy and paste.
Yeah,
you know what they should do?
Just use resources from what they did with Skull and Bones and put it in Black Flag Remake. That's probably why they're doing it.
RPG, that's the thing I want to do.
Well, if Ubisoft really wanted to like redeem everything, I would say they should reboot the series, bring back Desmond, and make a coherent narrative.
Exactly,
that way they can bring back Altair, Ezio. They can make the story actually focused.
Yeah.
And then they can actually have a satisfying ending. Because what they did with Assassin's Creed 3 was pathetic, in my opinion. That was trash. What they did to Desmond.
Even though personally, when it came to like the weapons too, you can't even like dismantle your own weapon. They're going with two weapons. Okay, but what about having one weapon where they can choose which type of weapon they can select and
a lot of the freedom in 3 was like they just stripped a lot of it down.
It was watered down. It was watered down. It's
4 and
actually
all that.
it's actually been watered
Yeah,
down since Brotherhood.
the Napoleon Wars, bro.
Yeah.
The Napoleon Wars with British versus America, bro.
Yeah.
I like that, but it's just everything doesn't make no damn sense.
Everything
I
else, like
tried
other than
to
that, is like
with the
messed up.
frontier, no snow, no environment, because I really want good environment around 3, but the park car system not that great. But I like the assassination.
Yeah, that was cool, but that was like
Yeah.
the beginning of like having all these like chests to collect and everything.
Yeah,
all
and even
flooded
though
all over the map, and then you're like
Yeah.
you're spending all this time hunting
Yeah,
and getting
because
materials
I
and shit. That's when they started really introducing a lot of that tedious like
Yeah,
collecting shit.
but guys,
progression.
but anyway, let's be honest. At least Assassin's Creed 4 improve around 3. At least you can have like
No, that's true. It's definitely a
this,
step up.
this
I like-
weapon like
I think Assassin's Creed 2 had the best combat though.
Mhm.
Because
let's be honest. Assassin's Creed 2 got best combat and also unity for sure.
Yeah, even
Like,
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed 1's
at
combat
least
is really good too.
those are good, and also especially 1. Assassin's Creed 1 and 2 are the bangers out of it, and
Yeah.
even with Unity.
1, 2, and Unity after patches. And
Yeah.
also Assassin's Creed 4, but the only thing I really liked about that game was having like 8 shotguns and blasting them at the enemies, like just pelting
was
them with
cool,
like
yeah.
all your guns. I thought that was really cool, but
Yeah, exactly.
But the older games, it was good because you could be tactical. You had to like be mindful of like your surroundings. You can't just start like slaughtering like a bunch of enemies like you're playing like Dynasty Wars or some shit where it's like you gotta worry.
Revenant, can I tell you the thing though? I'm not gonna lie, because when I see Mirage, when you try to assassinate enemy, it's thing for like Valhalla, like animation, but the thing too,
No, I actually noticed that. Yeah.
yeah, and the thing too, what they done to the enemy, they kind of let bit sense of the blood around them. I don't see no blood. It's just small. They sense the blood, but when you see around Black Flag and maybe 3, it got loads of gore. I mean,
That's
not
because
gore, like,
Ubisoft became
blood.
pussies.
Yeah, exactly.
That's basically what it is.
but remember they're
playing
French
safe.
Canadian. They're
Yeah,
French Canadian
exactly.
studio, so what do you expect?
Politics have really bled into their games now.
Yeah, because this like it's based around these stupid websites we have right now.
No
IGN,
matter what
all
the
that.
setting is or whatever the game is, they're gonna inject their politics in there no matter what.
Look, they made a game in Japan which is notoriously xenophobic, especially during that era, and they have you playing as a black assassin who's based off one real. They took the one time where there was a historic black samurai,
Mhm.
and they're using that as the basis to make an excuse for to justify this game being an ESG piece. They'll say,
Yes.
well, in real life there was this one black assassin, there was one black samurai. All right, cool, congratulations. Way to shit on Japan. How disrespectful to Japan. You make a game in Japan, the main character isn't even fucking Japanese. Pathetic.
Exactly,
They
bro.
can't help themselves.
Exactly.
If I was
This-
Japanese, I'll be highly offended that they did that, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly,
And
bro,
then they'll get at us
exactly.
and be like, "Oh, why do you care or whatever? What does it matter?" It's like,
Oh
they're
yeah,
the ones
guys.
doing it.
Remember how like some of the movie flop? Probably I've forgotten because there was this movie flop. Like there is one Marvel movie flop. I think like probably like Japan or China get mad off the West and they want to demand apology because they promote too much propaganda and they don't like it that much.
Shang-Chi?
Is that it?
I don't
No,
know about
no,
Shang-Chi.
No,
I know
not
that's
Shang-Chi. No, I think
There's so many
Warner
Marvel
Brothers
flops.
because probably Warner Brothers
recent?
bent down. I would say this. Warner Brothers bent down to the Japan people because the fact they are not happy with their project, how they just keep on disregarding, the source material. I have like so much flop around the business, and they're telling them they need to like learn to promote good quality.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, they should just leave Japan alone.
Do you know what Western Warner Bros saying? Sorry, they sorry and they bend the knee.
Look,
It shows how much Japan just don't like how Western keep on invading their stuff,
yeah, of course.
and
I
they
mean,
just
they have the audacity to demand that they make changes to manga and shit. Like there's like manga isn't that
Like
shit isn't
video
even really
audio.
for the West. It's just
Exactly,
something that
bro.
Westerners like. It's made for Japanese people. It's culturally Japanese. The fact
Exactly,
that
bro.
Westerners like it is great, but you have this entitled mindset where Westerners think that
It
anime
has
is
to
made for
appeal to
them,
them. Yeah, like
as
everything
if
has to
anime
cater
is
to them.
made for them, which is not. It's made for the Japanese audiences. It's meant to
Exactly, bro.
help promote things within their culture, things
Hmm.
that
Yeah,
they
exactly,
value,
bro.
And
not
that's
things
one
that
of the
we
reasons.
value, things they value.
And that's one of
Yeah,
the reasons why
and to me,
we like it, because it's something different that we normally wouldn't get, but
Or
we also find the appeal in it. It's
well,
almost like
because it's
food.
older
It's like, all right,
values.
yeah,
yeah,
exactly. That too.
and even guys,
It's like different food from other cultures. You
yeah,
like
and
it.
guys, even though my phone about 5%, there
Oh,
is some few things I want to say. Even though was it like Cuba with Bleach, Cuba's not happy with how Western like Viz media trying to like cut a few things out. He don't like it, but they say, oh, we just don't like some of the things. How they say, bro, that's Cuba's art piece. But whatever the right and the script made by Japan, you must follow it.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's the way to go about it.
Well,
Yeah,
That's how it should be.
They want Westerners to be pussies, and you know what the thing is that the reason why the only reason you would want everyone to be weak is if you're a coward yourself. That's the
Yep.
only way that you would want other people to be weak. So the fact
Exactly.
that all these people are pushing this weak ass society, trying to weaken men, shows you how evil and fucking yes, I'm using the word evil
And corrupt.
and cowardly and corrupt they are. They want everyone to be a pussy just like them.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And even though you see how games right now flopping because they're rather find some people that have weaker skills
Yeah.
and abuse them, but not have very strong people with professional skills to just make good quality. They don't find weaker people.
That's why it's failing. The same thing with Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You ever seen
That's why
you
if
ever
they
seen
do
the
a
art
gaming
in
strike,
American
I wouldn't mind.
comics? You ever seen the art in American comics now compared to the
uh,
90s and 80s?
Awful.
It looks god awful. It looks like an amateur draw. Like, bro,
Yeah.
really the modern comics, the way they're drawn is mostly dog shit.
Mhm.
All the industry professionals that were great have all been pushed out of the industry because of their mentalities.
Yep.
The only one of the main ones that hasn't been pushed out is Jim Lee, but guess what? Jim Lee is a leftist idiot now.
Mhm.
So
exactly, bro.
Or Todd McFarlane.
Todd McFarlane, Jim Lee's a waste of talent, bro. I like Jim Lee and all, but he's definitely a waste of talent now. He's bending his knee to all these people like he wasn't drawing sexy Catwoman or Harley Quinn for 20 years.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, and also yeah, and also maybe another one like probably like what is it? Yeah, Will Smith is a coward too and a dumbass.
he's a simp and
Oh
a
yeah.
cuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also including this guy from Secret Invasion. I don't know.
I forgot
Who's
his
that
name.
guy name again? From
Samuel
I
Secret.
know you.
Jackson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from
Yeah. Him. Him too. Yeah. Yeah. They've
yeah,
all basically become simp cucks for Hollywood and whatever's going on because they want
yeah.
to stick around.
He's socialist, bro.
Yep.
The
Yeah. They're
socialist. Yeah.
socialists. Yeah. They adopted a socialist mindset that years ago they never had.
You know who
Yeah,
wants? You know why these people want to be socialists? Because they already have money, so they feel like they're good. All
Yep.
socialism does is hold down the people that aren't already rich.
yeah, exactly true. And
Which is
by the
why the
way,
rich keep
um,
embracing it.
yeah, by the way, Reverend, I
And
got
Jim Pachi, you forgot me, bro.
I gotta wrap it up here because the fact that my phone's about 3%.
Okay. No problem.
Normally, when
Reborn, you forgot me. You said Revenant. You didn't say Jim Pachi. I feel
sorry
insulted.
about Jim Pachi.
I'm kidding, bro. I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I'm just talking
that's
shit.
because what is it? When you get on, it's about 22%, but my phone drained because
No,
like
that's perfect because it's raining over here pretty heavy, and I was waiting for the rain to slow down so I could go to the gym. So even though it's a little bit late, I'm probably gonna hit the gym when we get off the chat. So it actually works out.
yeah. So guys, anyway, I hope you did listen and enjoy my live stream. Reverend, I mean Revenant and Jim Pachi, nice to have you on the live stream. Can't
Yeah. It's been
appreciate.
nice to be on again.
Yeah,
Yeah, nice to be on for sure. We'll do
Yeah.
it again soon one day.
yeah.
It was
A
a
lot
good
of fun.
talk too.
Yeah, we can do it next week. We can discuss about sports around probably maybe on Friday or maybe Thursday. if
Well,
you
I'm
want.
more of a sports guy than Revenant, so you're
Yeah.
better off. I mean, I'll be there
Yeah.
too if anything, because
Yeah.
like I know he's not
Yeah,
really a sports
yeah.
guy.
Because discuss about PlayStation and what else? Sports too. Like I
Okay,
said.
that's cool. No problem.
Yeah,
Yeah, we can do it like we could try Friday. Friday might be good.
yeah. Friday.
Yeah.
Same time. 10.
Yeah, sure. 10. 10,
Yeah,
10 works, yeah.
yeah. 10. All right, guys.
All right, man.
Thank you for joining my live stream,
No
and
problem.
also
Catch
everyone.
you later, bro.
Thank you for listening, and I really appreciate how you spoiled my live stream. Well, anyways, I'm gonna get going. Anything you want to ask, Reverend Anjapati, leave her on the comment
Uh,
section.
before we end the stream,
Hmm.
everybody check my channel out. I upload a lot of gameplay from Arkham. I do live streams. I have original animated work, original animation. Check it out if you want and give it a watch. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can
Same.
find me at just look up Revenant Remnant. I talk about gaming and shit like that. So, kind of similar to what we're talking about here, but in my own way, I guess. I don't know.
His own solo act.
Yeah. Something like that.
All right. So I guess I'm out. I'll catch you guys later.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah. Peace, Reverend Anjapati. All right, guys. I'm gonna finish the live stream. You guys have a great day. Take care of yourself, and also peace.